This is certainly not a video that I wanted to create, but there's so much fear out there right now. Business owners don't know what to do. Entrepreneurs are unsure of decisions they need to make. However, there are some things you can do. Despite all the craziness, the unknown, and that's 90% of it. It's the fear of the unknown. And if you can do things to alleviate that and take action rather than putting your head in the sand, you may actually just have a business on the other side of this. You may still be standing. You have a much greater chance of getting through this time if you get your head out of the sand and acknowledge what is going on and start to first communicate. Communicate with everyone. Become a leader. This is your opportunity to lead and connect with your employees if you have employees, connect with your contractors if you have contractors, and certainly talk with your vendors, the people that supply you with the goods, the services that you need to keep your business running. Share with them your breaking points. Share with them your financials, and we'll get into financials in a few moments, but talk to employees and contractors and vendors and let them know what are those breaking points, what are the different levels, what will happen if business gets to this point. In other words, nothing is going on. The United States right now in many ways is just grinding to a halt. How long will that last? What happens after 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks? How long are you able to continue the relationships at certain levels? At 100%, 80%, 50%, or not at all? Have real conversations. People will respect you for it. And not only that, if they can contribute and understand without worry and wonder, rather than just surprising everyone when those circuit breakers trip, everybody's involved in the process. And sometimes those folks can help you with some ideas that maybe you'd not thought of. So communication is really important with the people you work with every single day. Communication is really important with your customers, your clients. Let them know what's going on. Tell them where you are. And I just sent out a letter today supporting my clients, letting them know that I am here and here's some suggestions and I'm here to work with them, and maybe here's some things they should think about. Should they slow down in certain areas or should they speed up? I'm in a marketing field. A lot of times marketing, advertising is the first thing to go, but it shouldn't be. But people are scared, and so they cut everything without thinking it through. So I'm helping them support my clients to help them think it through. And in some cases, maybe they do need to pull back. In some cases, they need to rev up the engine to get new market share during this time. And maybe they just need a plan to help get them out once all of this starts to wind down. Help them ramp back up in their business. And if they need someone to talk to as it relates, maybe just consulting, these are things you can do too. So take the time to reach out to your customers or your best clients that you work with on a regular basis, and maybe have other people within your business. If there's more than one team member, get out there and connect with people and keep the communication going, because if you disappear through all of this, you may be the last person they remember as we ramp out. And you don't want that. So it's all about communication. Look at your financials. What is at risk? Which clients, which products, which services are at risk? You need to assess this, because maybe some clients are very obvious because everything is grinding to the halt. Maybe they serve in the entertainment industry and you need to be aware that maybe they're going to pull back a little bit. Or maybe they have a store that is considered a want rather than a need, and what they sell is something that people will forego. There's so many different scenarios, but you need to go through and figure out, maybe there's certain products that people will forego, or certain services people will forego right now. Which are those? And do a real assessment and see which of your clients you think you can hold on to, which ones you're just sure are going to go because, again, they can't deal with this downturn. Look at your expenses, your labor. And again, as I mentioned before, talk to your team members. Make this a group effort as much as possible. But also write down, list all of your expenses and write them in order in which you can let them go. Maybe there's some software as a service. I know I have software as a service that, you know what, I really don't need. I don't need right now. It's kind of a luxury to have it, but I don't need to be spending that amount of money every month for that service. And some are core to my business and I don't think I could give up. So you need to list those things. And, some of them are just wants rather than needs, and all the way down to the basics of, look, if you get rid of these things, you're pretty much out of business. So you don't want to get rid of probably the bottom things. So that's what you need to do. List that out so you know how, as income possibly decreases, what expenses you can offset that income decrease. Understand these things, because if you plan this all out now, once again, you're going to come through this a lot better later. Marketing, advertising. As I mentioned before, some people just put big steps. They make rash choices. Look, if you want to continue to grow your business in the long term, you need to keep marketing in some way. In some cases, that involves money, but maybe it's your time. Maybe you'll need to spend more time within social media and keep that communication going. Maybe you boost a few key blog posts rather than a full ad campaign. It just depends. It depends on your goals. And more than anything, don't just cut everything off. Take a look and see if you're getting a positive ROI on the marketing that you're doing. If you are advertising right now on Facebook or Google and you're still getting a positive ROI, you don't want to turn that off. That's new business and opportunity that's coming into you. So be sure you're getting the positive ROI, or even just a little bit less. Maybe the lifetime value of a customer is certainly going to make up for it over the long term, even if there's a little bit of a loss now. Again, things you need to work through as you get your head out of the sand and start communicating, start analyzing your business, start deciding what are the trigger points for steps you will need to take as it relates to your products, your services, your clients, and the expenses in your company. And then start to plan ahead. What are you going to do when things start coming back around? And they will. We just don't know how long it'll take, because we will adjust. Whatever the scenarios are in the future, we will adjust and we will grow. And maybe this is the time to start thinking about new products, new services. I've always found that after every recession, there's been a great new uprising of some sort of technology. It always seems to be the case, and it becomes normal. And you need to figure out what that is for your business. Maybe there's something that's cutting edge right now that on the other side of this recession, all of a sudden it'll seem like, oh, this is normal. This is the way everybody does things now. Try to figure out what that is and apply that to your business. It'll make a big difference. I'm already developing new AR technologies to apply to my business. And right now we're in discussion and planning. In the next number of weeks, we're going to have a full suite of opportunities for people out there. And we're going to have the pricing, we're going to have the products, we're going to have the whole logistics, everything set that we don't have now because we have this opportunity. There very well may be this lull that will give us the time to do the things that'll put us ahead down the road. So what can you do in that process? How can you advance forward as we come out of a recession, if we officially have a recession? That's not even guaranteed, but it's a pretty good conclusion considering how much of the economy is grinding to a halt right now. More than anything, be safe, be well, and if you want to think about your core and who you are, I recommend you check out the next video because that's what I address.